has changed. The demography has also changed. So each state is competing to develop. Originally it was known as the Bimaru states. Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Today, if you look at it, Uttar Pradesh has now become a developed state and with a surplus. Now, if you look at Madhya Pradesh, it is going so fast. Indore is supposed to be the cleanest, fastest growing city in India. And then if you look at Rajasthan, it is slowly catching up with Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. The only state which is slightly suffering is Bihar, because the issues have not been addressed. But today, even look at Bihar, in the last 10 years, it has grown very fast. And it is now, if we, as times progresses, Bihar is a very rich state, not only in resources, minerals, or anything you can say, but it is also a rich state because of the reason the people are hardworking. If you look at the majority of the people working outside Bihar, it is normally the Bihari. If he comes from Jharkhand, we call him a Bihari. He comes from Chhattisgarh, we call him a Bihari. He comes from Nepal, we call him a Bihari, because they are working all over India, because they don't have enough work there in Bihar. But today, we are finding it difficult for employment. They are finding it difficult because of the reason there's so much of work going on in Bihar. And Bihar is jumping so fast towards the goal of development that in a few years, you may not find anybody from Bihar to work in the other cities. Well, there will be people coming and going. What I'm trying to say, it will not be a great influx of people from Bihar who will say, no, we are going to work only there because the reason we don't have work in Bihar. There will be opportunities, there will be development, new sort of developments. There will be infrastructure development to a very great extent. And because of that, you are going to see new hospitals, new roads, new universities. There are new bridges, connectivity over big rivers. All this is going to change how if Bihar is going to make it over so many years. In another 10 years, give or take 10 years, Gujarat will be challenging Bihar will be challenging Gujarat, it will be challenging UP, because the people are not only technologically knowledgeable, but they are willing to put their practices into practice, and they are willing to accept the development, the role what development is guiding them to. So when this happens, the Bimaru states are also turning around, and in a few years the word Bimaru would be a dead word in the concept of development of India. You are looking at a huge change. And when the huge change takes place, it is only in the form of investment which is giving returns. When you're looking at an investment giving returns, it's also the type of industry a person is investing in and how much of returns you can expect from it. So, when you look at it, you are looking at a time framework wherein there will be competition from Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra and UP vis-a-vis Gujarat in a particular area. Then Gujarat, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh with another area in Bihar. Bihar, Rajasthan and Gujarat with regard to another area in comparison with Tamil Nadu. So, you are going to look at pockets of industries which are going to develop, because each state is putting up what is known as an industrial corridor, a defense corridor, an electronics corridor. Each one is putting up a corridor, and the government is pumping funds into those corridors, and with so much of this tech activity going on, you are going to see a fundamental change in the development, and consequently the change in the GST collected. When that happens, there is going to be a, I would say, there will be a friction between the acceptance of the generation of the revenue generated through GST between the states. So let us wait for this game plan to evolve. For example, if you take, let us take this example. GST is being brought down to some 3 slabs or something like that. And you are looking at a 5% slab for a majority of the goods. Now, if you look at the purchasing power in many states other than even Tamil Nadu is higher. If you look at Maharashtra, if you look at Gujarat, if you look at UP, there will be the purchasing power which is more, or Tamil Nadu may be more. And therefore, if you look at the population, Madhya Pradesh is bigger, if Maharashtra is bigger, and UP is bigger. Therefore, the revenue generated through GST will be higher in these states. Therefore, the revenue sharing, if you look at it, in a gross manner, is going to be higher for Gujarat, it's going to be higher for Madhya Pradesh, it will be higher for UP. When you vis-a-vis a comparison between, say, another state like Goa or Tamil Nadu, etc. So, the importance, what I am trying to say is, the competition should be there. But that doesn't mean that you should kill the opportunities given to available in other states. So, as states compete, you are going to have a problem with GST. There is going to be a problem with the allocation resources. There is going to be a problem of the request for the GST collected from the distant states and the sharing of GST. All this is going to happen. Now, coming back to the topic, consequently, you are going to see a big change in the structure of the operations of GST also. Already it is on an electronic mode. You are going to see further improvements. Each state will try to improve and collect more GST. Electronically, it's going to try to improve the nature of business and how much of money can be pumped into the hands of the people and how GST can be increased for that particular state. When these kind of each state activates itself in that format, you are going to have a tussle between the central government and state government in the form of sharing. It is going to happen. But I'm sure that in view of the fact that all the finance ministers of all these states sit together, they will be able to envisage the growth of India per se vis-a-vis the growth of their state. So I'm sure that there'll be a fine-tuning of the GST in the future. Why did I start on GST this time? Because, again, the concept of corruption in GST. Again, is there a GST corruption? Or is it what the people do with regard to the GST? Major GST corruption is input corruption, the ITC. Now, raw falsification of data, fraudulent data, all these cause increase in refunds or adjustments against the ITC. And when this happens, what happens is that people are able to understand that something has gone wrong. So who has made it wrong? The persons who are dealing with GST? No. It is the person who files, who do the business, which are causing these harmful effects on the GST system itself. If we are able to address this issue, that yes, let us make it more transparent. As the things become more and more transparent and more when the wedges are, tightened, you will be able to see the stretch of the fabric. And in the stretch of the fabric, you will be able to see what are the weaknesses there. and people will start tightening, because of the reason that the tightening will give you a better perception of the GST. So we can look at further improvements in the GST and further improvements in the administration of GST, and I'm sure we will not find it so difficult and say that the GST department is corrupt. It will take some time to redefine the operations, but I'm sure in another few more years you will find that this area is also strengthened. There will be corruption, that I'm not denying, but it will be in extremely limited way, and the whole of India will benefit from it.